I've gone on record multiple times and said that switching is the most powerful move in Pokemon. And it's true. The main reason why moves like U-turn and Stealth Rocks are so ubiquitous is they put a damper on something that's so impactful like switching. However, what if I were to tell you there's something more to switching than just swapping to a safer Pokemon? A way to capitalize on the match's momentum and turn your offense into something suffocating that forces your opponent to make a bad move. Double switching is the term that the competitive Pokemon community uses to describe swapping to one of your own Pokemon to beat an opponent's switch, hence the double. And that's a bit of a word salad, so let's take it to this example I recorded. I've got my Hydreigon in against my opponent's Seismitoad, and I know there's no reason for him to stay in. And I'm looking at my moves to see which one hits the opponent's Tyranitar the hardest, because honestly, that's the best and most likely switch in for my opponent. But unfortunately, looking at my move pool, nothing really hits him that hard, because even Draco Meteor won't do too much against my opponent's Assault Vest. But in this situation, where I know my opponent is going to make a switch, there's a much better option available. I'll just make a switch of my own, this time to my Conkeldurr, who can absolutely smoke the Tyranitar. This puts me in a much better position than clicking Draco Meteor, as I can threaten to one-hit KO the Tyranitar with a fighting type move. But more importantly, in this example, my Conkeldurr has a really good matchup versus my opponent in general, and I want to get it in as much as possible. So even if my opponent switches again afterwards, I'd rather be guessing with my Conkeldurr than with my Hydreigon. And honestly, even if we tweak the example a bit and give the Hydreigon a Flash Cannon, which would hit the Tyranitar super effectively, I would still consider the Conkeldurr double switch to be the better move. This is what makes double switching so powerful. Oftentimes in Pokemon, fielding an advantageous matchup is more important than simply clicking the right move for the right Pokemon or the right situation. Really, it's like a U-turn without the automatic guess. As a result, it's slightly more demanding on the player than U-turn, but when you consider that the advantages are the exact same, arguably better because you get an extra move freed up, it's really worth learning to take your offense to the new level. Once you start to get good at double switching, you'll even start to notice situations where a double switch can work out if you guess wrong. My next example takes place in the underused tier instead of overused. Let's say I've got a Choice Scarf Chandelure in against an opponent's Copperajah, and we both know my Chandelure is faster. My opponent also has an Indeedee on his team and can predict my Shadow Ball by going to it safely, since normal types aren't affected by ghost moves. Or he can go to his tanky Colossal, trying to eat my fire type move. Finally, if he's feeling cheeky, which happens a lot on the lower ladder, let's be honest, he could stay in with his Copperajah and try to get Stealth Rocks out. So I'm in a bit of a difficult situation here, and I want to maximize my offensive pressure by choosing something that hits all three. And as I always say, something that minimizes risk and maximizes reward. So in this situation, I think my best move would be to make a double switch to my Flygon. It can U-turn on the Indeedee, Earthquake can kill the Colossal, and even covers the Copperajah pretty cleanly, as I don't think he would go for a heavy slam in this situation. And I don't fear an Earthquake with my flying Dragon Bug thing, and it can even force him out after he gets up Stealth Rocks. This kind of aggression really shines when you're playing with an offensive team, where you win by always having your best matchup on the field, so you can break through your opponent's walls. It keeps up momentum as effectively as U-turn and rewards aggressive players who are frustrated by a circular game with the same Pokemon coming in over and over again to defend against the same attackers. Double switches are also a fantastic way to beat trapping moves in Pokemon. If you bring in a Toxapex to defend against an enemy's Keldeo, and you fear him going straight for Dugtrio to try to trap you, you can use a double switch to go out to a safer Pokemon and instantly snatch the game's momentum back into your favor. Same goes for Magnezone trapping Steel types and Pursuit users in previous generations. If you can predict the opponent is looking for this, you can beat them to the punch with a double switch. And another small tip, and this really doesn't apply to top level play, but in my experience on the ladder, just on a basic psychological level, I find people are often a little bit reluctant to swap out after they've been double switched on. And I've stolen a lot of kills over the years by punishing that tendency. So yeah, kind of a short one, but next time you play, try to incorporate some double switching. I think you'll be surprised by how much you can improve your offense and keep up momentum. Thanks for watching. If you liked the vid, maybe like and subscribe. Take it easy.